Hey everybody, I'm Steve, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back if it's not your first time. Crystal's work schedule's been a little hectic lately, so I've been hitting some of these towns and parks and locations on my own. And today that brings me to Sugarcreek, Ohio. And Sugarcreek, Ohio has a cool little display in their downtown area. A little bit of a surprise I'll get to here in just a minute. It is a chilly low 50s day, very overcast. There was a little bit of rain earlier, but we're doing good now. So hopefully we stay dry as we're wandering the town. I invite you to join me as we tour Sugarcreek, Ohio. There's a cool little photo op right here in this parking lot that I'm in. It was established in 1886. And other than what I would consider to be the main event of this town, I haven't done much research. I like kind of going in blind and just exploring and seeing what they got. So here's this pharmacy here. This first thing I'm passing as I'm leaving their little public parking lot area. I see an American Legion building. There's a very strong Dutch and German influence on this town. It is sort of smack dab in the middle of Amish country. I would go as far as to say it is Amish country. We have this little memorial here on the street corner. Broadway and Main, I think, is the street corner this is at. So it's dedicated to Lieutenant General Donald L. Putt of the United States Air Force. And down the sidewalk of this parking lot, they have all these cool, I don't know what you'd call these, reliefs into this brick wall. And I'm sure you can hear the German music playing in the background. They're just blasting it. It's just on blast on the street. You're just walking down the street and you can hear it. Here's some more of those reliefs on this wall. And down here it says it's a brick wall sculpture, major donors. It's got everybody listed. Hearing this music playing, it kind of reminds me of like an Oktoberfest celebration. So you almost expect to see like food carts and beverage vendors along the road. But I believe the music is all coming out of this museum here. It's the Alpine Hills Museum. So I'm going to check that out here in just a minute and see if it's something we can film. But first I wanted to get to the main event of the town, which I'm calling it the main event of the town. It is the biggest attraction in town, obviously, because there's a lot of people standing around it. And that is the world's largest cuckoo clock is right here in Sugarcreek, Ohio. This cuckoo clock featured in the 1977 Guinness Book of World Records as the largest cuckoo clock in the world. And I believe every half hour it does go off. And then these little Dutch people dance or German people dance around it. So I'm going to try to wait it out, see if I can get that on video so that you can experience the world's largest cuckoo clock in Sugarcreek, Ohio. Here's a little bit about it. Oh look, there's a little dog that is getting ready to do his business here, staring at me from around the bush. And there he goes. Even dogs love visiting the largest cuckoo clock. Oh, that was a little embarrassing for him. Sorry. So yeah, in 1963, Carl Schluterman was commissioned to build this, and about $50,000. Took 12 years to build. And here it says 1978, but online when I was looking on their website, it said 1977 is when it was featured in the Guinness Book of World Records. But then they restored it in 2007, and now it's upkept. So it was, I think it was moved here in 2012, and the crowds are kind of dissipating right now because the show just went off a little bit ago. But I'm going to stick around here and see if I can get the whole performance on video. We have some time to kill here, but there's a gift shop on the corner, a fabrics shop, a gospel shop. See this railroad depot here, that's pretty cool. The train track runs right through the town. And then there on the corner, There's a law office, but it kind of looks like an old Swiss building. It's got the little red and white flags on it. It's a little sports pub in town called Bags Sports Pub. So looks like you can grab a bite to eat there. I started to walk down the railroad track side of the town, but these businesses look like they are closed. And then there's this building. It's boarded up and everything, but it looks all closed up. And I was looking for an entry to this because I thought it'd be cool to see it. But since we can't access it, it just says Swiss. This says Ohio Swiss Cheese Association office and lab upstairs. But you can't really access it from the public, so we'll just have to imagine. I see Esther's Home Bakery, and they have coffee in here and stuff too. But they are a cash-only business, so make sure you bring cash if you want some homemade coffee or baked goods. So while it's a little low on guests here and I can kind of walk around and show you, this is the cuckoo clock. You see the clock up there? Looks like a bell up there. I can see the cuckoo. It's not really behind a door. But here's the signage. It says it's the world's largest. Runs on the hour and half hour. So I wonder what the difference is between performances, or if it's all the same stuff. It's got a little water wheel over here. There's the German dancers. It's got a bird all the way up on top. So we got about 30 minutes until on the half hour show to see what that's like. So here's a little plaque about the history of cheese making in the area and the Swiss immigrants that came here. And they have this sculpture here. And instead of making cheese, he's making change. This Swiss guy's making it rain. Please don't make it rain. So here is a list of cheese houses, past and present. And then next to that, you have a list of donors for labor and materials. So they donated time and materials for it. And then monetarily donated to the cheesemaker tribute. Okay, we are about 2 minutes away from the half hour show. The sun is actually trying to peek out here. Might have to switch over to my trusty sunglasses. So that was the world's largest cuckoo clock performing for you. What'd you think of that? I thought that was pretty amazing. Now let's walk around town and see what else they got. So I see the police department there, and their little Swiss decorated building next to the library. And then there's looks like an art gallery right here. I can see an Amish buggy way down there. Can't really get close enough. Now it appears the music's coming from somewhere else. Like I thought it was just the Alpine Museum, but it's down the road here too. They have this collective coffee company here. It looks like they also sell clothes and stuff in here too. There's a pretty good sized line inside that coffee shop. And I want to wander, so I didn't want to spend that time waiting on a coffee when I could be looking around this beautiful little town. And they do have public restrooms down this alley here next to the library. It's good to have a place to make sure that you can use the restroom, because I mean a lot of these places, as I walked up to the doors and stuff to take video for you, they say no public restrooms. It's also worth noting that there isn't a walk light. So what I've been doing is I just kind of wait for the light to turn red on the street that I need to cross. Haven't had an issue yet. And I wanted to go into the souvenir store, but guys, they're closed. They're closed. And it looks like they're only open Friday and Saturday. So 11 to 2 on Friday and 11 to 4 on Saturday. So I can't look at the souvenir shop. I wanted some cool Sugarcreek gear. I swear I run into this a lot when I come to these towns. Like, a lot of the stores are closed. Doesn't matter which ones you go to. Like, I'll go to one town and some of the stores will say they're open Wednesday through Sunday. I'll go to another town, they're only open Friday through Tuesday. So just look ahead. If there's something special that you wanted to check out while you're in Sugarcreek, just look ahead and see what's open. But yeah, I run into this all the time when I go to these little towns. It never fails. Something's going to be closed. This store doesn't have a name, but it says here that they're having a store clearance. Prices reduced 50% or more. And they got antiques, collectibles, pop culture, movie posters, toys. And you can see there's a big M&M guy and a robot in the window. Wait, maybe there's a name down here. There's some more characters. There's just a big road closed sign. I'm not sure what it's called. It's cool though. They got Black Panther and Marge, two characters I would not think would be standing together. And you got Ultron and Joker. Another two characters I didn't think would be standing together. It's like the craziest boy band ever. I don't know, it says they're open. I'm gonna try to check it out. I hear some audio playing right when you walk in. There's a Mars Attacks alien. It looks like he's hunting Bigfoot. They got a pretty good collection of action figures. There's Darth Maul there. Sounds like they're watching TV. At first I thought it was like a video on a loop, but nope, it's a television. Okay, so this gentleman said the retail space here is going away, but he's going to reopen it as a pop culture museum. And so in the back they have sort of a haunted house museum area. And you can see here's the entrance to it. It's really cool looking so far. We haven't even stepped inside and I'm giddy with it. So yeah, he's still putting all this together. A lot of it's being worked on, but this is pretty amazing. Little motion activated werewolf for you. You got the radioactive barrels and skeleton here in the coffin. Yeah, this is going to be amazing when it's all said and done. And I'm not sure how well you can see some of this. Michael Myers, he looks like he's animatronic as well. So yeah, there's a lot of setup going on here. So that's a real coffin there?
That is a real coffin, and there was a body in there.
What happened to the body that was in it?
Well, what happened was the gentleman died in Mexico, and they shipped him home in that coffin, but the family didn't like that coffin, so they bought a new one to bury him.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a hold of this from up in where was it, Akron, at a mortuary up there.
So this place is, if you wanted to check this place out, it's Hangar 81. If you go on Facebook, look up Hangar 81, and he'll let you pay to do haunts, ghost investigations in here. So paranormal investigating, he does allow that here, and it's different pricing depending on what you want to do, how long you want to stay. But there have been paranormal investigators here that have picked up things. So it might be worth it if you're into that kind of thing and you want to set up an investigation. Hangar 81 on Facebook, just look them up. Here in Sugarcreek, Ohio. But this museum is going to be beautiful when it's all said and done, I think. So yeah, you can see a lot of the pop culture stuff that still remains here. So they're having a massive sell on this stuff before he converts it over to a pop culture museum with a paranormal museum in the back. And so they did have like antiques and things like that as well. And some of that's still around. But there's a little bit of everything in here. Old electronics, old instruments, movie posters, concert posters. So yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff in here. Hangar 81, that's the name of the place. They got some Cavaliers jerseys in here. All the old newspaper boxes. There's an old video game there. And this is a section for younger kids. So we got a little bit of everything here. From Hot Wheels to Barbie. Just a little bit of everything. There's like a 30 or 36 inch Darth Vader here. Some other Star Wars stuff. There's a lot of toys over here on the side where the antiques are. There's a lot of Marvel characters over here. And look at this big Spider-Man playset. That's huge. And these old TVs. They have these old arcade games over here. This one looks like it would release prizes and stuff. And then this one's kind of a pop ball looking tic-tac-toe game. Some old signage. Look at this banner from Under Siege 2. I'm sure this is like an old go-kart looking thing. That's pretty cool if you could fix that up. There's a little race car. There's a lot of antiques and games and stuff. Look at this little motorcycle. This is pretty cool. There's an old dirt bike here too. So the name of that store is Hangar 81. Richard is the guy who owns it. What's cool about this place is it's kind of reinventing itself. Sometime, maybe later this month, he's going to shut it down. And what he's going to do is he's going to reopen it all as a pop culture museum and paranormal museum with like a little haunt in the back. And so what you saw in that store, in that tour that we did, was a little taste of it. Like he's just now starting to get some of the stuff together, some of the animatronics, some of the memorabilia, and he's going to keep adding. So it's going to be really cool. That's going to open sometime in June is the projected date. So I'm going to put a link to his Facebook in the description of this video, and maybe in the comments, I'll see. But I'm going to put links to that so that you can find it, because we need to support Richard. He's trying to keep the interest alive, give people something to do here in Sugarcreek. But yeah, that's a really cool idea. I might have to come back and see that when it's open. So I'll be watching along with you on his Facebook page. Here's another gift shop and souvenir store, Fuzzy Edges Corner. And again, I'm running into, sorry, we're closed. And I'm not sure, I'm not seeing hours for them. So I don't know what to tell you as far as when you come in, but there's their number in case you wanted to call and check. Which brings us to Alpine Hills Museum and Sugarcreek Information Center. So I'm going to see if I'm allowed to film in there. Maybe we can see some cool museum stuff. This really freaked me out because I walked in the doorway here and I thought that was a person for a split second. But this is to show you what an Amish kitchen looks like. Oh, this is a big cheese kettle. And they got these styrofoam pellets in here. And I apologize in advance, this floor is very loud. It's got to be mostly original, but it's in very good shape. But yeah, this thing is steam heated and it holds up to 300 gallons of milk, which can make up to 200 pounds of cheese. That is a lot of cheese to cut. Here's some old photos from some of the cheesemakers around here. This is the cheese house. Now I can hit the button and it would give me a big spiel about what's going on here. But there's another big cheese pot, cheese kettle. You can see underneath it's got the wood under there. And there's a stirrer right there. You can hear once again the German music playing. I feel like I should have a stein of beer. So this is the, I'm assuming it's pronounced shoot shop. It's all dark here. I hit the start button for this presentation, but it's kind of locked up. There we go. The light's back on. So yeah, I'm not sure what role this played in anything, but pretty cool. There's some more artifacts from the time. And here's an old cuckoo clock back here on the wall. Some more clothing and stuff from the time period. There's some Amish clothes. If you ever wanted to know why they dress the way they do, here you go. Here are some myths. And then what's the difference between the Amish and the Mennonites? And they're calling this area the budget shop. But there's a huge printing press right there. And there's all the different typesets. And there's another printer. So this place has multiple floors. It's like 3 or 4 different floors. And we're still on the first floor. They do have a restroom in here, which is not common. It's actually more common for signs in the storefronts to say no public restrooms. But I'm heading down to the basement first so I can check out what's down here. And this is kind of what you're greeted with when you get down to the basement. There's a lot to see down here. There's a General Electric refrigerator. 1928. It cost $400. Here's an ice cream bicycle. It's pretty cool. I like that. You can get a Happy Bar for 5 cents. There's a wagon, Excelsior View Company. So I just figured out this here is a photographer's wagon. So he would travel, take pictures, and then in the back it had black canvas that would extend out and serve. You can see like a little semicircle cut there at the bottom. It would serve as a little mobile dark room for him to develop pictures on site. That's pretty amazing. Didn't know they had that. A horse-drawn mobile photographer. This almost just looks like an Amish buggy, really. It was donated by Mr. and Mrs. Yoder. A lot of horse-drawn things here. I'm not really sure what they are. But at the end is a display for the Sugarcreek Firehouse and the fire station. And two of these buttons I've pushed, the displays haven't worked, so I've kind of just given up on that. So there's a ladder on wheels. That's pretty cool. That's a big pump. Different tanks. And there's a gas mask and different hats for firefighters. Old nozzles. I really love seeing the old stuff. That's really cool. Here's a blacksmith shop. See the different tools of the trade. Wood vise on stand. And then they have the big bellows on top. The anvil. This says it is a gun maker. That's amazing. I've never seen anything like that. It's a gunsmith lathe right here. And there's a little bit of history on it. There's a one-cylinder gasoline engine. It says it's a spring wagon. And there's where you would hook your horses up to it. There's another horse-drawn carriage of some sort. But you can see it's a sleigh. It has no wheels. It's an actual sleigh. I don't know that I've ever seen an authentic sleigh. I've only just seen, just representations of them. There's a big copper kettle here used to make cheese in the early 1900s. There's a peanut roasting machine. I wouldn't have thought chain driven. I don't know, it just never occurred to me. But that's pretty amazing. There's a big press. And they have this old sign here for the Sugarcreek Hotel. Okay, now we're going upstairs to the main floor and then again upstairs to the second floor. All right, let's see what they got up here. Oh, wow. This is amazing. I've never seen like a church pew or a school desk. Maybe it's both. It's like a bench that's got its own little tables on it. It's an 1880 bedroom suite. It's a walnut, Victorian style bedroom suite. It's like a living room set. There's just a lot of stuff to look at up here. A lot of little trinkets and things. Look at these old dresses and shoes. It's all these different pieces of furniture and flatware and some more clothes. So that's what a pocketbook looked like in 1930. And they have an entire barber shop set up, complete with a shoe shine stand. You'd sit there and put your feet up on the pedestals, get your shoes shined, get a nice haircut, and be looking sharp. There's an old radio and TV. RCAs back in the day, they had these tubes in order to work. And a lot of these ran off of that kind of technology. Look at that old guy. Edison record player. Here's an old telephone switchboard. I don't think I've ever seen any of these in person or been able to get this close to them. But you can see they each had a number designation. And you just moved your plugs around to different ones to connect people. It's even got the original receipt with it. It says October 1st, 1943, and it was $312. $312. We pay more than that now for an iPhone. Heck, I don't think you can get a flip phone for that. Here's a bunch of different instruments. Well, this floor really creaky. Really creaky. And I'm not going to do this, but you can press the different buttons to hear the different instruments play. But Steve isn't going to do that. That would be a lot of commotion in a very quiet museum. That is actually an Edison home phonograph. So those cylinders were basically records. So it was vinyl that a groove was cut into, and you placed it on this machine. You can see there's a tube already on it. And then you cranked it up, and it played music out of this very beautiful looking speaker. And they have the handbook for it. That is amazing. I don't know that that's original, but still, to have a guidebook for that, that's an awesome looking camera. Can you imagine doing what I'm doing right now with that? Like trying to walk around and just kind of putting that on your shoulder, trying to document everything. That's crazy. But they do have smaller versions for today's vlogger in 1930s. There's an early 1900s slide projector, and there's some of the slides. They do have all these typewriters down here, and there's a cash register or a calculator, one or the other. All these different artifacts and stuff. It's really cool. There's ham radio equipment. There's a cane gun. Oh, a pistol and silencer. Look at how old that is. That is amazing. These old locks. It's really cool, these old medical utensils. Like they got electrodes. Ultraviolet cure medical kit. I'm not sure what that is. Glass syringes down here. Here's a medical bag that's open. Trying to make out what some of the stuff in there is, but some of it's so worn and hard to read. Here's some more items. There's a little model of a heart, a stethoscope. There's a baby record book. There's a little dentistry case and an optometrist case. That's cool, all the little different lenses and the little glasses so they can find your prescription. And here's some different shotguns and rifles. That is amazing, the shape that these are in. Like there's a little powder flask. All right, so that was the Alpine Hills Museum and Sugarcreek Information Center. That was a really cool place. They had a lot of really cool things. I could have spent a lot more time in there. I already was in there for a couple hours, so it's very interesting stuff. And I ran into another YouTuber in there. So we talked shop for a little while. So yeah, if you're ever able to come to Sugarcreek, it's totally worth it. The world's largest cuckoo clock, the museum and information center, and some of the shops around here, it all looks really cute and it's a lot of fun. And that's going to do it for this video here in Sugarcreek, Ohio, with the beautiful cuckoo clock in the background, and you can hear some of the music playing. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. That way you get notified when we post new content. And keep an eye out for our upcoming video where we will answer the question, where to next?